Yeah, so we have been discussing about uh, robotics and such for the past few meetings, discussions. So, similar to that, I want to discuss a bit about exoskeletons today. So, I saw one announcement in CES which caught my interest. So let can just watch the video maybe. Uh, you can hear the audio, right?
Not yet. Can you just wait for a few more seconds? No, I can't hear the audio.
Where do you, where is the option?
You reshare it again, uh, and then on the right hand side there is a button
Okay, yeah.
like a tick box, share it audio, something like that.
But it's a first of its kind
Now,
bionic footwear that promotes
Yes,
health and well being.
yeah. So
This is the Defy Sidekick, the world's first powered wearable at the ankle. It's not a medical device, but it's a first of its kind bionic footwear that promotes increased health and well being. Think of it like an e bike, but for walking. You're fully in control, but every step feels lighter and gentler. With a rechargeable battery and built in motor, the Sidekick learns your unique walking style to give you a natural boost with every step, all in real time. There's no major setup, app to download, just strap in, power on, and go. Built for forward motion, it boosts your step when you walk, pauses when you stop, and you may even forget it's there until you take it off. The extra push makes doing more feel like less. Less fatigue, less discomfort, less saying no to the things you love. You're still doing the work, keeping your body active and strong, and reaping all of the benefits of walking. It's made for everyday people who want to keep moving, whether that's keeping pace with friends, walking more comfortably, exploring new places, spending time outdoors, or choosing to walk instead of drive. It's for anyone who wants more freedom on their own 2 feet. The Sidekick's design is shaped by real human experiences, melding the best technology with user-centered design and extensive real-world testing. With greater comfort, confidence, and ease, the Sidekick helps you be present for the moments that matter most. Choose to opt in instead of opting out. Do more of what you love. Movement, your way.
Yeah, so that was uh okay, I can't even see myself. Anyways, that was about the sidekick that was announced in CS. So I found that tech somewhat interesting. And unlike what we have discussed or what we have been discussing, like foundation models and AI and such, it is not a very sophisticated or in comparison, not an advanced technology, but it seems quite useful. So I just wanted to know more about exoskeleton, where it started and what is going on. So this is I did not do much deep dive. I just got some higher level understanding. So the first kind of exoskeleton started in like the 1960s. The first one is I guess was called the Hardiman, and it was built by General Electric in collaboration with the U.S. Armed Forces. So it looked kind of something like this. So it was like we see in those movies and stuff, right? But yeah, it was a very huge
yes,
thing, and it was heavy. It required power, and the next evolution of this was also for the military in order to create, let's suppose, super soldiers. So they created this thing called the HULC, or the Human Universal Load Carrier, and it was by Exobionics and was licensed to Lockheed Martin. We can just see what kind of things these are. So it is also an exoskeleton similar to the first one, but you can see in terms of size and stuff, it is quite small and manageable. And yeah, I think the backside is also connected to the exoskeleton, so maybe the person take carrying this load will not feel the load of this thing. So here you can maybe see a side profile of this thing. This thing is the exoskeleton here. Yeah. Yeah, so for this one, I suppose the limitation again was power. It required more power to work. And then the shift also focused to medical rehabilitation. So we have some certain exoskeletons like ExoNR and Rewalk. They are more designed to help patients that have paralysis to stand and walk. So if a person with mobility issues use a wheelchair, then they can only manage their immobility. But with this kind of exoskeleton, they have the option that will actively promote recovery as well. So this kind of exoskeleton, they have motors, they have sensors which are connected to the hip and the knee joints, and this could coordinate the movement, and so it will better allow for recovery. So like they talked, we can see something about the XONR. Yeah, you can see it is an exoskeleton like this. And there are different, at least from this company, there are different things or features. This gate coach software, I think if you maybe after an accident or for whatever reason you don't walk properly, even if you can, this will improve your gait. There are other posture support, data capture, patient engagement, etc. So yeah, in medical rehab situations, this kind of exoskeletons are also used. And in this kind of situation, there is actually a role of AI as well. And that particular kind of role is called assist as needed. So I think they did some research and found that if the exoskeleton has rigid control strategies, meaning the robot does all the work, then it can actually hinder the recovery of the patient. So what AI can do here is, or they are calling it the human in the loop system. So the AI will just assess the patient's active participation, and it will adjust its assistance levels accordingly. So it will provide more force when needed and less force when needed. This will push the patient to use as much muscular effort as possible from their end, and the remaining the AI system will adjust so that they don't completely rely on the exoskeleton, in turn not using any of their muscles for movement, and also not being completely immobile while sitting in a wheelchair. So it kind of is a balance of the both. And then after the medical tech, this tech also can be used in the industrial domain, where instead of just improving or helping with walking, this will be used to prevent wear and tear of the joints and muscles and such. So we can find two kinds of exoskeletons in industrial domain. One is the passive one. These are devices that does not require any batteries or motors and such. It is completely mechanical components. It has elastic bands, springs, etc. that is used to store and release the energy to distribute or redistribute the gravity's load on the body. So they are usually, because they do not contain such electronic components, so they are lightweight, affordable, and such. One such example is the Skelex 360. Maybe you can just have a look. You can kind of see in the pictures itself what kind of or how they will function. So it is like a suit or bag you will wear, and it will provide uh, some support. Yeah, like it mentions, it makes overhead lifting feel lighter, offloads your muscle during overhead tasks, reduce strain on shoulder and neck, etc. But again, there is also the active type. These are powered by batteries and motors. So this will actively, it will use sensors to actively provide force. One of the other example is from the same company, Skelex, but this one is just for the grip strength. So it will boost the grip strength. It will reduce hand fatigue during any repetitive task, provide more precision control, etc. So yeah, those are some of the different use cases for exoskeleton. currently, I don't know much about how much of it is available in the consumer era or for the consumer market, but for consumers, they are mostly marketed towards hikers, like the one we saw in the beginning. So it will help you walk further, and maybe also for elderly people who have lower mobility, no such medical issues, but just due to aging, they have lower mobility, so they can use this kind of exoskeleton to even walk more and stay active. So that was so bit about the exoskeletons. Do you have anything to add here?
Okay, so towards the end, you mentioned the examples that you showed. Those
Mhm.
were the ones that didn't require any, like, no external power was required for all of those.
For the passive one that I showed, that
Yeah,
yeah, that will be used for upper body support. That does not require any electronic component. It has mechanical components. So just by
yeah.
laws of physics, it will provide you support, but no external power is required for that.
Okay. This reminded me that this passive aspect when you mentioned it reminded me that, like, previously when I was watching some, like, fitness videos or about deadlifting or something, so those people wear certain kind of rubber suits. So even while deadlifting, even that amount of, like, thing helps them lift even a bit heavier. Like, because
Mhm.
suppose you're wearing a rubber suit and you're deadlifting, just that, like, whatever it's called, like, its tendency to come back to its own, to
Mhm.
its natural state will exert some amount of pull. So along with your own muscles, that thing will also work, and uh, it will provide you extra for, like, assistance. So those are kind of things that was mentioned. Like, I don't remember the context exactly where it was mentioned, but that reminded me of that thing.
Yeah, then another
And
kind of passive support when you're talking about deadlift could be also the wrist, what is it called, wristbands or something like that. So
yes,
basically, when you're doing deadlift, before your back is tired, probably your wrist or arms will be tired first.
yes,
So if you use
yeah,
that kind of wrist, you are just using the hand to hold the thing. You're not using the wrist strength, so you can push yourself further.
yes. Yes, look, I have seen people use it, but I never uh, decided to. I couldn't figure out the mechanics behind how it worked. So okay, like, now I get it. Like, intuitively, I understood, like, it definitely would have helped to lift heavier. So even that was the reason why people are using it. But which makes me ask the question, uh, in two kind of scenarios. Suppose there is a competition. So suppose they did like powerlifting competition, and you have to lift. You have to do it. You have to do a deadlift. So in that case, is those kind of thing legal, or, like, is it not? I don't know. Like, those questions come up. So if it's legal, that means everyone can use it. So that's
I
understandable.
think, yeah, it is part of it will be part of the rule. Like when you're playing football, so
Yeah.
everyone wears those kind of football boots. That is the
Yes.
part of the game.
Mhm.
So no one
Yes.
expects you to play barefoot. So similarly, if you're weightlifting, if everyone is using the same tools, so everyone
Yes.
has the same level. So based on that, you're judging their performance.
Yes. And even the second one was during the training part. So I think even in the past 30 seconds while thinking about it, I already found the answer myself. So my question initially was that if you use the that thing, so what's the benefit? So initially my first objection was that if you cannot naturally use your wrist to pull that, so if you're using assistance, so you're not training your wrist anyways, so you should try to put that, like, train your wrist strength as well. But then I understood, like, what if you're training your back or your hamstring, like overall deadlifting, and suppose you're doing a few rounds and you're tired. I mean, your back and hamstring can still do it, but your wrists are tired. So in that case, you can rest your wrist and use that to train the rest of the body. So from that
Yeah,
point of view, it makes sense.
that is the logic actually. So even when I do lat pull downs, the this thing that you have to pull,
Yes.
your
Yeah.
hand grip will get tired way before your back will get tired. So at that point, you want to just pull the that bar. You don't want to hold it tight. So that kind of
Mm.
assistance will help you. You're just holding onto the bar with some kind of grip gloves, but you're pulling with your
Yes.
back. So if the focus is the back exercise, then until and unless the back fails, your hand will like the other parts of the body doesn't matter.
Yes. Now, about the active ones, active exoskeletons. So, like, I don't think so. Like, it's available to general consumers, at least not publicly. Maybe that you, like,
The
physiotherapy or
the
something.
the first video that we saw, I think it will be for the consumer, the one that you will wear on your legs and you will be able
Okay.
to walk, whatever. That is marketed towards
Yes.
the consumers. But the others are,
Okay.
I think you can buy it, but it will be expensive and it is for industrial purpose and such.
Yes.
So yeah, but that is why I found it interesting that the thing that will assist you in walking,
Yes.
it also defeats the purpose of walking to some extent, I think, but it also makes sense because you may not enjoy the walking aspect as much as you enjoy the other things. Maybe you want to explore or you want to go hiking because you like the mountains or nature, whatever, but you get tired easily. So you cannot
Yes.
expect every person to train, get fit, then start walking and or whatever. And even if someone starts to age, their physical limit will go down as they age. But if this kind of
Yes.
thing encourages them to go out and explore or whatever, then I think this is a good tool. It could be a good tool, especially for aged people who have like uh, lower
Mobility.
mobility.
Yeah.
Then it does make sense.
Yes. Like, yes, for age, like for older people, I understand. Like, means from a functional point of view, it is definitely useful for them. But one thing is that, like, if you do not like the lack of mobility, okay, like from a practical point of view, if you use exoskeleton all the time, so it will definitely help you. But from a health point of view, if you do not exercise even when you're older, so it won't provide you health benefits. But from a practical point of view, suppose if you want to go from one, again, another thing about aging is that no matter how much you exercise after a certain age, the decline is inevitable. So, but
Mm.
that's another thing. But yes, what I was trying to say is like if, on a practical level, suppose I'm an 80-year-old, I use an exoskeleton, so I'm as good as a 25-year-old in terms of practical abilities. But as in, suppose 80-year-old, I have never trained for the last 10, 15 years. So I think once I take that off, like I am very useless. And it's not just the physical mobility, because exercise has other indirect benefits as well, like your heart and everything else. Like, so if you do not exercise, so those kind of things will be indirectly affected as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and but the at least the one that we saw, the first video,
Yes.
it will not provide like 100% assistance. So it will still require effort from you.
Yes.
So it's still doing something, but
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, that is the. But yeah, I mean, I like for that the one that you showed that is quite simple, like very small. Like
yeah,
exoskeleton, I thought most uh,
the whole
more like
body.
Iron Man kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, not exactly Iron Man, but you have very external exoskeleton. Like it is clearly visible that you are
Mm.
having some kind of enhanced thing.
Maybe it will start with this is just like the seed. Maybe it will progress towards that direction, or maybe not.
Yes. Now, again, like the thing that comes down even for exoskeleton for active ones is the power source, which
Yeah.
reminds me of Iron Man as well. Like, so he had something, some nuclear reactor in his heart. So
Mm.
that, like, there is definitely science fiction. So that powers for a longer period of time. But I mean, in practically, I don't know how long does this thing last? Which
Yeah.
makes me think like, yeah, continue then I'll say.
No, no, that's the thing. The more power, the more useful that exoskeleton is, the more power it will consume, and the
Yes,
more battery it will require. And as per current battery technology, like this thing will be very bulky. So the entire exoskeleton as a whole will be bulky. So we can have small components like the only for the leg, only for the hand. Like that is what they have seen so
yes,
far. So it's not in the entire exoskeleton.
yes. I was about to say that, uh, like recently we have talked about all robotics and everything that I've seen. So it seems like battery technology has, like, it is so important. Like it's at the center of so many developments, and it is holding back. Like the lack of, I don't know. Like I haven't followed battery tech so much, but from as a lay, like normally what I've seen, like the lack of progress over the past, I don't know, like 15 years, it has held a lot of other things down. Like if there's efficiency in battery tech, many other technologies could go a lot further. Like, for example, like battery life in phones, laptops, smartwatches, like how much has it changed over the past decade? Nothing much. Like we still need to recharge our phone one like one day, like uh every day. Like it hasn't gone from one day to 1 week. But in terms of like compute power, like if you take a smartphone or laptop from 10 years to now, there's a vast capable difference from over the past 10 years, which is not the case for battery, as far as I know.
Yeah, and isn't that the some isn't that the criteria for the different civilization levels? How much energy we can
Energy,
what is it what is it called, store,
Kardashev
or
scale.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
amount of energy we can, what is the word,
Actually, there
utilize.
is how much, yes, utilize. Yeah,
So part of that utilization is also storing it, I think. So how
yeah,
efficiently can we store that energies to utilize it later? So that is where I
yes,
think, yeah, we're lagging behind compared to all the other advancements we are seeing.
yes. I think last April or May, I wrote an article about CATL, a Chinese company. They have started like they launched something like 5 minute or 10 minute charging kind of tech. So I haven't followed up on that. Like I don't know how realistic it was. So I need to look back on that and see what's happening there. So
Okay.
yes, that's one of the things.
So do you have anything more to add here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then there is one more uh, topic, or like a product I saw in CES. So it was called the longevity mirror. So have not done much research on this. So maybe you can just watch the video, see
Mhm.
what it does.
Every morning, we look in the mirror. But what if your mirror could look back and reveal your health today and years into the future? Introducing the Longevity Mirror, the world's first smart mirror designed to help you understand your long-term wellness from a simple 30-second selfie. No wearables, no sensors. Just look into the mirror and let advanced AI turn a quick video into meaningful health insights. At the heart of the Longevity Mirror is the Longevity Index, or LIX for short, a composite measure that summarizes your longevity, health and wellness potential over the next 20 years across 5 core physiological domains: cardiovascular disease risk, metabolic health, heart health, your physiological age, and your mental stress. The index uses a clinically informed weighting scheme based on literature linking each domain to all-cause mortality and healthy life expectancy. It is data-driven, based on studies with over 100,000 patients. The result? A 0 to 100 score that summarizes your longevity, health, and wellness potential over the next 20 years, and the insights to improve it. With the built-in AI Health Assistant, you get easy, personalized suggestions that fit naturally into everyday life, and when you want deeper support, the One Touch Health Concierge connects you instantly to health professionals who can guide you right from your mirror. And with multiple user profiles, your whole household can stay engaged, informed, and motivated. Because longevity isn't about living longer, it's about living better. Start your journey with the Longevity Mirror. See your health, improve your wellness, live longer.
Okay, so what do you think of this kind of? So I don't know the technically how accurate this is going to be, or what kind of sensors, like at least they're saying it's from the picture, right? So there must be some kind of advanced cameras or something that is detecting or sensing something that normal cameras cannot sense. So yeah, what do you think of this?
It's like means if it works as it says, then definitely it sounds quite helpful. But again, if I get a better understanding of the technology or what's they're working up, like what's the tech behind this, that will help me get a better idea about what's going on.
Yeah, it's,
Like, let's see what Gemini says, and based on that,
transdermal optical imaging to detect blood flow information invisible to the human eye.
the
Hum-
principle.
So they're saying just by the flow of the blood, they can detect all this kind of different metrics they mentioned.
Okay, so mainly it is detecting hemoglobin, then color changes, and okay. Okay, it says it calculates more than 100, over 100 plus health parameters on the third part.
Mm.
So on the like the mechanism I understood, like as an input, it takes something up about from what? From the blood
Blood flow, yeah.
through from the blood flow, like it like hemoglobin or something, and then analyzes the data and then uh, provides estimate about 100 plus parameters, including biological age, disease risk, and so on. So,
So if I, since like I do not have enough knowledge in this regard, So I don't know how
Yeah.
accurate even all of this thing is, what Gemini is saying.
Yes.
But if it is a very simple way to do a sort of like wellness check of your ourselves, but if it is accurate, then
Yes.
if you just
True.
look at it for 30 seconds, you will get this many parameters and you will know the state of your body. Then of course this will be quite useful.
Yes. In some ways, it's like just like a smartwatch or something like that. Like you can get your heartbeat and something like that, some basic information. Again, now that also depends from smartphone to like smartwatch to smartwatch, like how expensive or how good the equipment is.
Mm.
That determines the accuracy. So I think so.
Yeah,
Again,
but
provided this is yeah, go on.
yeah, but since this specifically mentions this technology, the TOI,
Yes,
and it says it can detect blood flow invisible to the human eye, it can detect hemoglobin and such. So maybe it is more advanced than smartwatches, maybe because I think even the most expensive or advanced smartwatch is not that advanced that it can
I
detect
see.
so many things just from few or just from the blood flow information. But
Yes,
yeah, I don't know what I have no idea of the reception or like critical how are people reacting to this or anything. I just saw this announcement, so maybe I'll have to do some more research on this.
yes. But from an idea, like people are being innovative here. So at
Yeah,
least like I appreciate the idea, but I don't know. Like, as you have said, I don't know how accurate this is, but again, the idea is good. Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
like you can see here it says it is they're positioning it for investigational user wellness monitoring in gyms, clinics, offices. So I
yes,
think it makes sense in gym because in some gyms, like the one I go to, they have this body fat percentage calculator thing. So it is not the most
okay,
accurate thing, but if you have been consistently going to the gym and the progress is there, then even if the margin of error is higher, it will show you the progress. Like it is actually happening. So if this kind of thing is there and your body is getting healthier as you are progressing, even if it is not 100% accurate, the trend will be positive. Then we can know that
yes,
actually something is right.
changing, yes. Even Gemini towards the end compared it to a smartwatch or a smart ring.
No, yeah.
Would you like to? So that is
Let's
what I was thinking. Yeah.
yeah. So it serves different purpose.
Yes, in a way, it serves different purpose, but in a broader frame, it is kind of similar. That is, but since
Yeah, both of
both of
them
them
are
are
health
like
tracking.
yes, some kind of health tracking, which is not definitely not a replacement for a professional doctor, but just to help people get an idea about their health.
It says it is very accurate for blood pressure.
Okay, so yeah, currently I don't know. Maybe Apple Watch can do check blood pressure. Maybe I'm not sure. But I have heard that they were patenting some technology where they are trying to
Yeah, also
for blood sugar, not for blood pressure. Maybe it was for blood sugar. But the thing is that you need to pierce and get the sample for blood pressure. How are they going to do this without getting contact with the real blood? I don't know how that they're trying to do.
for blood sugar, you require the actual blood, not for blood pressure, I think.
Yes. So, but Apple were patenting for blood sugar.
Yeah.
That is why I don't know how their Apple Watch can do that without actual blood.
Also, the difference here is that this is marketing or positioning as purely for health tracking, or the purpose is clear, but the smartwatch is like it has multiple uses. It also has to act as
Yes.
a proper smartwatch.
Yes. As for a smartwatch, health is just one aspect of many other things. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you have anything else to add?
No, nothing. I think that's it.
And close it then.
How much time is there left?
2 minutes.
Okay. So you can close. Like I had a few things to say, not about this, something else. So you can end this one.